Okay, I already started, but I thought it would be interesting to show you how I ink stuff. So that's black ink, that's black watercolor ink. Teachers always told me you do dark colors last, and I do it for various mediums, but with ink I tend to do it first when I have to mix inks. This is Eurovision fan art, and I'm sorry in advance, but that I didn't have anything more interesting to show you, but that's what I decided to paint today, so might as well film it. And sometimes when people see my things, they're like, oh, you must have spent a lot of time making this, but no, inks are super quick. There's always colors I can't really do with inks without mixing, getting it mixed afterwards with the inks, so I switch to watercolors for some parts. Whenever you see a drawing and my comments start with quick painting, quick drawing, that's this kind of weird, super quick method I'm using on it. Not at all trying to do something precise or well thought out or anything. I don't know if you can be seen very well, it's yellow. I'm not touching the ink with the yellow watercolor here because the ink is still not dry, so I don't want to ruin what I've already done. So it's about halfway done, so I'm just going to pause the video here and wait for it to dry, and I'll come back later. And it's dry, so I'm back. I'm gonna use pink color, purple, I'm terrible at pronouncing some words, cobalt blue, and that's China blue. I use that one a lot. I'm still not entirely sure what I'm going to use on which parts of the drawing, so I'm just going to go with the flow, as they say. Again, my English is terrible, I apologize for that. Someone said when I posted a previous video about my sketchbooks, stop apologizing like that. No, I'm sorry, my accent is terrible. There's no way I I can pretend it's good, or basically it would seem weird not to apologize for that, because it's like I'm never going to have a good accent in English, however matter how hard I try. So what is there left to do except apologize for it? I don't know. So that was Cobalt Blue. I may have gone a bit overboard with it, I don't know. So Purple. And I'm not waiting for it to dry because I want it to mix with everything that's underneath. The thing is, ink, even dry ink, can still mix with ink you put on top of it, and it does this little feathery thing on its own if there's enough water. And there's times where you want it to happen, and there's times when you don't want it to happen, and there's times where you're just like, I'm gonna let it do what it wants to do. This is one of those times. I'm just letting ink do its thing, and pretty much going to add water where I don't like what it's doing, and nothing where I like where it's going. I'm gonna stop there with Purple. Oh, it's doing something really nice here. I dig this. Not sure I'll be able to keep this till the end, but I'm gonna add some pink. Not much, because I don't like this color very much. I prefer purple. I have this, you could say, a version for pink, because my walls when I was a kid, my room's walls were pink, because my mother really wanted me to be girly, I think. That's what she said, but not sure it was the truth. And anyway, I spent half of my life surrounded by pink everywhere, and there was nothing I could do about it except adding posters on the walls and stuff to hide it. Yeah, it's disappearing. It's sad. I like this bit here. I don't like how white this area is. Why is it doing this? I've used water, but maybe too much. Stop being all white. It's not what I want. I like these feathers, so I'm gonna try not to add too much water there. Oh, the paper is starting to protest. These little dots there are the paper's way to say, I've had enough of this, please stop your bullshit. This paper isn't made for that much ink and water. I just don't have the budget for expensive paper for every single drawing I'm making, because I do a lot of them. And that looks pretty nice. I'm gonna add some water here and there, but I don't want to decide where it's gonna land. So I'm just gonna flick the brush like that. Okay, this needs to dry a bit, so I'll see you later. Okay, so I'm back, and now it's time to basically destroy this. Yeah, Link Inks is very, this method is very chaotic, and at every moment you have to accept that ink does whatever it wants, and you can't really know how it's gonna look like once you're finished. I'm trying to save these feathers of ink because I think they look good, but if they disappear, I have no way to stop it, so I just have to deal with it. Once you accept the fact that ink does whatever it wants, and you can't really decide how your painting is gonna look in the end, it's, I don't know, it feels good. I think it can be stressful if you have to do something precise, but if I have to do something really precise, I'm not using this method precisely for that reason. I mean, I can sort of anticipate how things are gonna look, but just barely. So yeah, I forgot to say I added some bit of yellow there while it was drying. I think it's pretty nice like this. Just making the rocks more black here and there. It's not dry here, so I'm kind of risking it. This guy needs to have a shadow as well, I forgot. So yeah, here it is. Okay, I really like what's going on here, but not really here. It's too dark. I'm gonna add some effects with water. Again, I'm gonna flick it. This area has the potential of a nice effect, but it didn't happen, so I'm gonna add water and hope it does. So the way you're doing this, you're adding water in the shape of the area you want to change. I'm not really fond of the pattern the brush made while flicking it. I'm gonna make some larger dots here, here, here. So you're adding water, you let it dry a bit, you add more, just in the middle, like this. I don't know if you can hear my cat, but he really wants to be in the video. I'm pretty sure you can hear him. Okay, so I did this. Yeah, you're cute. Okay, and I'm gonna remove some water with this. I think it's pretty good like this. I'm gonna let it dry and finish it when it's done. I'm back. So I'm gonna add some stars. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna use all of this, but I'm also going to define the rocks a bit more. This is a watercolor pencil. The way it works is you're supposed to draw something with it, and then you are supposed to add water on top of it to mix it and get a smooth surface. But it's also pretty useful to draw over paint to add some details. And that's mostly how I'm using it these days. I used to make entire paintings with them and water, but it was extremely time consuming, and as someone famous would say, it didn't spark joy. The result was cool, but I didn't enjoy the process. This is a process I like, the one with the inks and not knowing how things are gonna look in the end. It's very cool. So here you have some more rocks. Okay. I'm gonna add some stars by hand. You're probably going to hear my cat again because he's right there next to the chair, looking at me. This is a Posca pen. It's basically paint inside a pen. It's very useful to paint details on things. And the only problem is it dries super easily. You have to remember to use the cap on it very quickly after finishing, because otherwise the pen is basically dead instantly. And the paint gets jammed inside the tip super easily as well. And also they aren't particularly cheap. It's very useful, but yeah, you have to change it very often. Okay. Not enough stars. I like to add stars where there's little dots in the paint. I think it looks good. Again, this technique is not about controlling everything. It's about letting ink and paint do their thing, their own thing, and using that to make your picture. So you're controlling the details, but not the overall look of the thing. I think it's pretty good. That's a nice amount of stars. I want a couple of shooting stars there. This one is going to be a shooting star. Okay. And this one as well. Where is my... okay. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I just thought it looked interesting if I added a couple of lines there. I'm just making some sort of map. I'm not sure what I'm doing right there. It's just... it just looks interesting, I think. It's like he's inside a map of stars. I think we're done. Okay. Let me know in the comments if this kind of video is more interesting than the work in progress posts I'm usually making. And I'll see you later. Bye.